YouTube. This is Tabby VSG. Coming at you post-op week 1. I've had my surgery. I'm on the loser's bench. Yay! So excited. I'm going to be looking down a lot because I actually made notes so there's not a whole lot of pauses because I don't know how to edit these videos. Anyway, let's start with stats. I'm 4'11" and a half. My highest recorded weight was 270 pounds, and that was last April. My starting weight for this process was 245 pounds in October. The day that I started my pre-op diet, I was 237.6, and surgery day weight, I was 230.6, and today, I am 221 pounds even. So overall, from my highest weight to now, that's a 49-pound loss. Since starting the process, a 24-pound loss. Pre-op loss was 7 pounds, and my loss since surgery is 9.6 pounds. I had my surgery on Monday, February 29th. My doctor is Dr. Cancelata here at Fort Riley, Kansas. And it was all right. I had to be there at like 6:30 in the morning. They got me all prepped, and I was nervous. But it was really quick, like getting me all ready, and I don't even remember rolling into the OR. Like, they gave me some fentanyl and something else in the pre-op area, and that's the last thing I remember until I woke up in recovery. Apparently I was in recovery a lot longer than most people. I was in there for 2 hours. But that's because the doctor said my sleep apnea was so bad, like my breathing would become way too shallow, or I would stop breathing way too often. So I did bring my mask with me for my CPAP, and respiratory therapist actually brought their machine and hooked me up to it. So the first day was no joke. Like, my mouth was so dry, and I brought Biotine mouthwash with me because I couldn't find the spray. And I finally got approval for me to use it, and I was using it constantly because it was like, my mouth was so dry I couldn't swallow. Like, my tongue was stuck to the bottom of my mouth. My lips were on fire, which I did get this stuff, and it worked really good. Like, it was soothing. I don't know if you can see that. Aquaphor Lip Repair and Protect. So, yay, I got that. Now, that same day of surgery, I had the drain. I don't know the actual thing for it. But they ended up having to, it wouldn't like drain. Like, when they tried to empty the actual little bulb, it wouldn't drain. So she ended up having to do what they call stripping it, which like pulled it partway out of its little hole. Oh my God. Even with all of the medication I was on, I cried. That hurt. So yeah, and I wasn't able to drink the day of surgery at all. Like, I couldn't take anything in until the next day after my barium swallow. That night, my nurse was awesome. Like, and I was so worried about throwing up. Like, I had this irrational fear that if I threw up, I would bust my staples. And I was nauseous. So they gave me, I was allowed every 2 hours, Zofran, Phenergan, and Dilaudid. And they would give that to me every 2 hours throughout the night. But of course, you're still not getting any good sleep because they're constantly in there coming in to monitor everything, make sure everything was okay. And I was like constantly peeing. I don't know why, besides the IV fluid bags, which I wasn't taking in very fast. So, I don't know. Anyway, the next day, which was Tuesday, they took me down for the barium swallow. That stuff was so gross. I had to drink one, which wouldn't hurt me if it leaked. and they watched it go through on the screen. And then I had to do the second one, managed that, got back up to my room, and finally they brought me my tray. Every day I was in there, it was a hot bowl of water with 2 chicken broth packets, 2 ProPass protein packets, Jello, a popsicle, Crystal Light lemonade. So basically the entire time I was in the hospital, I didn't eat. Like, I would literally try to dissolve the ProPass in with the chicken broth, and it wouldn't dissolve. So every time I tried to take that in for my protein, it was like chewing. Like, I had to chew my broth. I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be chewing right now. Everything's supposed to be clear and going down. So I just gave up. And then they had this gelatin. It's lime jello. And I don't even know the name of it. I wasn't paying attention. But it had, for the whole jello packet, it was like 20 grams of protein. And it was 4 ounces. But, like, I tried it, and it was like eating a rotten melon. I was like, that's not going to happen. Hold on, sorry. Give me a minute, please. Okay. Sorry. Thought someone knocked on my door. Anyway, so I was supposed to get out of the hospital Wednesday afternoon, and my doctor decided that he didn't like that I wasn't getting in enough fluids. He wasn't so worried about the protein but the fluids, and I was. I was struggling trying to get the fluids in. Like, it blows my mind. I couldn't take any more than an ounce every 15 to 20 minutes. So I ended up being in the hospital until last Thursday. And then the pain medicine, like the oral pain medicine, at first, I was having to dilute it with water. They gave me hydrocodone, 7.5, and I was able to take up to 30, whatever they are, milliliters. I don't know. But I could only tolerate 15 at a time. And I literally had to take that 15 and split it up between 4 ounces of water. So it would take me like an hour to take my medicine. I've gotten better now. Now I can just kind of throw it back and then take some water to, get the taste out of my mouth. But I kid you not, the day that I left the hospital, Thursday, they removed that drain, and I could feel it coming through my abdominal wall. It hurt. It hurt bad. And the pain only stuck around for about 5 to 10 minutes afterwards, but that initial pain, I let out a scream. That was just not normal. So yeah. I don't start my actual full liquid diet until March 12th. They wanted me to be on a clear liquid diet until for 2 weeks. Literally, it looks like I had a party. My refrigerator is full of Jello shots, and what my husband did was he went and got the Isopure clear drinks, and instead of using water to make my Jello, he used that as the cold water and then the hot water. So I've been eating them out of these little 2-ounce cups, and I get 2 grams of protein per cup. And then broth, I've been mixing my unflavored Isopure powder with, and for 8 ounces, and it's 26 grams of protein, so for every ounce I get 3.25 grams of protein. I tried doing the Isopure by itself. I can't. It grosses me out. Like, I'm very sensitive to taste now. And of course, trying to drink all my fluid. I've already gotten through half of this once, and I had to refresh the water. Like, I don't like water warm. It has to be cold. I didn't buy any popsicles or anything like that, just because I didn't really eat them during my pre-op diet phase. So, and I have my post-op appointment on March 10th. So, I'm hoping. When I woke up, I realized, like, when I finally looked at my incisions, had the guts because I'm a big chicken. I was thinking that all of my incisions would be this way. Well, the one above my belly button's like this long, and it goes up and down. So altogether, I have 5. I have one there, 2 on my sides, or on my left side, and then I have one right at my breastbone, like below where the boobs go. And then I have my drain hole on the other one. So I've been having to keep it covered. Let me see. As far as vitamins and stuff, I can't start those until I start the next phase of the diet. So that will be next week. And then the vitamins they want me on for phase 2, I got this handy dandy little packet here. 2 multivitamins with iron, 600 milligrams calcium citrate with vitamin D and magnesium twice daily. ADEK vitamin supplement for BPD. I don't know what that is. And then walking. And I have been walking quite a bit. Like, I was having a real issue trying to pass the gas in the hospital. Now it's not as hard. Obviously, I'm a week out, but I'm still sore. I'm still tired. And got to realize I'm not even maybe getting 200 to 300 calories a day. Like, it's hard to break it down. So next week I get to start like my protein drinks, yogurts, pudding, and it has to be thinned with a low fat milk or skim. And then blended and strained pea or lentil soup with protein powder, which I'm going to talk to them because I don't like pea soup. I don't even know what a lentil is. To see if I can do, other soups thinned out. Yeah. I have been able to bring up my liquid intake, which is good. And with me being, I'm diabetic, so like it threw me off. Like the highest reading I had in the hospital was in recovery, and it was 196. And that's because I guess my body was just so stressed from what it had been through. Other than that, like my blood sugars since then have been basically hanging in the 70s, which is for someone who is normal for someone who doesn't have diabetes. So that's a big NSV for me. Like he's taken me off all insulin, all metformin, all my diabetic medication. So that excites me. The only thing is I did have a low. So, and I had talked to my nutritionist. I'm like, okay, now that I'm not consuming carbs, basically, if I do drop, what am I supposed to do to bring it back up? So she told me to get 100% juice, apple or grape since they're clear, and take 2 ounces and then test 15 minutes. So I did have to do that once because my blood sugar dropped down to 59 the day that I came home from the hospital. I can definitely tell, like, it was very sweet, like sickeningly sweet. But it got me back up where I needed to be. So I don't know. I'm excited to be a part of this journey. I've been dealing with a lot of head hunger. Like earlier today, my husband was like, don't look at the TV. Because he took off work just in case I needed anything. And a commercial for Red Lobster came on, and I guess my face just fell. And he's like, don't look at the TV, So, like, I do find myself battling with head hunger. Like, I'm not hungry, but my head is. So that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Because I see all this yummy stuff, and I'm like, I want to eat it, but I can't, Like, last night they had cheeseburgers for dinner, and I'm like, you suck. But I know they still have to eat. Especially the fact that 3 of my children have ADHD, and they're on meds. So I have to feed them high-fat food so they keep weight on or even gain weight. Because can sort of, makes it where they don't want to eat it. It's an appetite suppressant. So I think that's about it for this week. Sorry about the crazy bedhead. I did, I threw on some makeup for y'all, but just not feeling it. Like, my core is so sore. I feel like I've done like 1,000 sit-ups. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I will see you next time. Bye.